Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so you sent over this stack of sources, all focused on the current state of UK agriculture.
Yeah, quite a mix.
It is, and our mission today is really to, well, dive deep into the forces shaping farming's future. We're talking economics, public opinion, even new health tech and AI.
And what really jumps out, I think, is this sort of underlying tension, isn't it?
Mhm.
You've got this industry, it's really resilient, but it's grappling with, market uncertainty, rising costs, and some pretty complex public perceptions.
Let's start with that public view, because I found the NFU survey results really striking.
Oh, the respect ranking. Yeah.
Exactly. Farmers are the second most respected profession in the UK. Third year running, just behind nurses.
That's huge. And what was it, 92% feel a productive farming sector is important?
92%. Massive public backing.
It is massive social capital. But, and here's the tough part, that support doesn't automatically, line up with stable policy or, frankly, profitability.
No, it seems not.
The NFU is really pushing now for, well, urgent government action just to improve farm margins, keep family farms going.
And a big stress point we're seeing mentioned is inheritance tax, right?
Yeah, the proposals there. Many are saying it puts family succession, that long-term farm investment, at real risk.
It feels a bit like asking the sector to deliver all these public goods, like environmental work, while pulling the financial rug out from under them.
And that policy squeeze, that tightrope walk, it goes straight into trade deals too.
Ah, yes, the U.S. trade deal warnings.
Right. Both the NFU and Dairy UK are basically warning the government, don't give ground on dairy in any potential U.S. deal.
Why is that specific concession seen as so destabilizing?
Well, it really comes down to standards and scale too. More access for U.S. dairy could mean imports produced under, let's say, different rules than the UK's high standards.
Which undermines trust.
Exactly. That trust, 75% of the public has in British food.
Yeah.
And it creates a really tough competitive situation for UK producers. They're saying, hold the line, protect the market, and public confidence.
Okay, so that pressure, the need for efficiency and resilience, it leads us naturally into thinking about animal health and welfare, super critical for farm viability.
Definitely. And one area that's, always complex in dairy is John's disease.
Still a major challenge.
It's a marathon, managing John's, not a sprint. The AHDB, that's the Agriculture and Horticulture Development Board, they're running these roadshows focusing on a proactive team approach.
So not just treating it, but getting ahead of it.
Precisely. Using tools like milk recording data better, focusing on calf hygiene, tightening up biosecurity. It's about the whole farm system protecting that long-term herd health.
Now, sticking with calves, there was some really surprising data on welfare practices from the Royal Veterinary College, the RVC, about disbudding.
Yeah, the sedation study. That was fascinating.
They looked at using sedation, xylazine, along with the usual pain relief.
And the really interesting bit, maybe the counterintuitive bit, was the outcome. This was a big study, nearly 500 calves.
Okay.
The sedated calves actually grew 0.14 kilos less per day over the 20 days after the procedure, compared to the ones done conscious, with just pain relief.
Hold on. Less growth with sedation. Doesn't sedation aim to reduce stress?
You'd think so. But that lower weight gain, it's a measurable sign of, perhaps some underlying stress or welfare compromise linked to the sedation itself or the recovery. It suggests that just relying on sedation, because it makes handling easier, might not be the best overall welfare outcome, and it has a real economic cost, too, in lost growth.
So the implication is?
The data kind of reinforces what vets often advise. Investing in good, permanent handling facilities might be better in the long run than always reaching for chemical restraint.
Right. That's a really clear link between welfare, economics, and infrastructure.
Okay, let's widen the lens now to the big diet debate. Health, climate goals. The sources definitely show a policy conflict here.
Yeah, you've got one side, 48 organizations? So that's right.
Pushing the new DIFRA ministers towards promoting plant-rich diets. They're citing environmental benefits, obviously, but also national health.
And the health argument is pretty stark. Only 17% of UK adults are hitting that 5-a-day target for fruit and veg.
And the environmental data they point to, like that 2023 Nature Food Study, is compelling. It suggests plant-based diets mean, 75% less greenhouse gas, water pollution, land use, compared to diets heavy in meat.
75%, yeah. But then the animal agriculture sector has a counterpoint.
They do. Quality Meat Scotland, for instance, points to a Food Standards Scotland report. And that report concluded you can't just recommend an across-the-board cut in meat and dairy.
Why not?
Because the national diet, especially in certain groups, is already lacking key nutrients. Animal products are, vital sources of some of those essential nutrients. Taking them away wholesale could worsen deficiencies.
So it's a health crisis versus a potential nutritional stability issue. How are livestock producers supposed to square that circle, meet climate goals without compromising nutrition?
Well, the path they're really emphasizing is all about science-led efficiency. The green cow idea, essentially.
Okay.
So instead of just cutting numbers, the focus is on making each animal more efficient. Using genetics, for example, to breed cows that naturally produce less methane.
Less methane per liter of milk or kilo of meat?
Exactly. More efficient feed conversion, lower emissions, but without sacrificing the yield or the nutritional value. It's trying to be, smarter, not necessarily smaller.
Right, maximizing the potential of the animals we have. Okay, that drive for efficiency and resilience takes us straight into crop protection. Because disease resistance is, it's always shifting.
It really is. Take yellow rust and winter wheat. Resistance ratings in some key varieties are slipping.
Which tells growers
That they can't just rely on one chemical fix. It has to be integrated management, starting right back in the autumn.
And that autumn planning involves a tricky balance, doesn't it? You want to avoid drilling too late because of yellow rust, but drilling early increases risks like septoria and grass weeds.
Precisely. It's a balancing act. The key message coming out of trials is about building the plant's own resilience. Good autumn nutrition is vital for strong rooting.
And this is where biostimulants come in.
Yeah, they're becoming a bigger part of the picture. Things like seaweed-based products or pidolic acid phosphite mixes. They seem to be a sensible cost to help bolster the plant's natural defenses, especially when you tank mix them with other autumn treatments.
Speaking of mixing things up, let's talk blackgrass. Still a massive headache.
Oh, absolutely. And this is where that strategy of stacking different modes of action really proves its value, like layering cloves in winter.
Good analogy.
Trials showed adding pendimethalin, that's the active in products like Anthem, to your standard box set herbicide mix gave a significant boost in blackgrass control. We're talking 10% to 16% better control than independent tests.
So layering is key for efficacy and also for managing resistance, presumably.
Exactly. Especially crucial if you are drilling those crops early. It helps protect the longevity of the chemistry we have.
Looking longer term, though, the direction of travel seems clearly towards more biological solutions. But growers need confidence they actually work out in the field, right? Not just in a lab.
Absolutely. And that's why it's good to see the AHTB funding these pilot trials for biofungicides against septoria in winter wheat for the next couple of seasons.
Why is that field data so important?
Because we know biologicals can be effective, but their performance can be really sensitive to, weather, disease pressure, all the variables you get in a real field situation. These independent trials are crucial for farmers to understand how to actually integrate these products effectively with their existing conventional spray programs.
Okay, so that's wheat. Meanwhile, in potatoes, climate stress seems to be causing immediate headaches, particularly in storage.
Yeah, we're definitely hearing about climate stress causing early dormancy break this year, sometimes even before the potatoes are lifted.
So what's the fix?
The key strategy seems to be rapid curing once they're in store, and then getting Bioxam on early.
Bioxam. Remind us what that is and why it's seen as sustainable.
Right, so Bioxam is basically 100% spearmint oil. It's completely natural, fully sustainable, approved for organic use too. And it even has a nice environmental angle. The spearmint plants sequester carbon as they grow. It's replacing some older, maybe harsher chemical treatments for sprout control. So yeah, a really essential sustainable tool now for managing storage.
Okay, let's shift gears now to the really high-tech end of things, scaling up efficiency with AI and next-gen machinery.
Yeah, and the pace of change here is pretty striking. Take the Digital Catapult High-Growth AI Accelerator Program.
Okay.
The companies involved raised £2.4 million in funding in just 1 year. That shows AI isn't just theory anymore. It's moving really fast into, funded commercial products for the whole agri-food chain.
Can you give us some concrete examples? What sort of AI solutions are getting traction?
Oh, it's across the board. In dairy, you've got companies like Rubik using their data mule platform for better milk volume forecasting, feed optimization. Then in crop health, FiceCrop is using AI for disease modeling. FarmSmarter is detecting things like cocoa swollen shoot virus with AI, even where internet connectivity is poor.
Wow.
Even environmental monitoring Carbon Rewild has an AI bird classifier to make habitat assessments easier. It's really diverse.
And that kind of digital intelligence is getting baked right into the farm machinery itself now, forage harvesting, for instance.
Yeah, the precision there is incredible. Fendt, for example, has this retrofittable forage quality cam.
Okay, a camera. What's it looking at?
It uses AI to analyze the chop, specifically the corn silage processing score, the CSPS, in real time as you're harvesting.
And the CSPS, just to clarify for listeners, that's basically measuring how well the kernels are broken up, how digestible the silage will be for the cow.
Exactly. If that score drops too low, say below 70%, you're losing feed value, losing milk production potential, losing money.
So the camera tells the operator.
It allows the operator, or even the machine automatically, to adjust the processor settings instantly to keep that CSPS in the optimal range. Plus, the newer systems used NIR sensors to check the dry matter of the crop coming in, and then automatically adjust the chop length accordingly. It's full-on automation for feed quality.
That same level of smart automation is hitting the dairy parlor too, right? With systems like the Bomatic Apollo.
Yeah, Apollo is really designed for those big, high-throughput, 247 milking operations. It's built around integration and access to data.
What are the key features?
Well, it uses a modern programming language, which sounds techy, but just means it integrates better with other farm software. And, importantly, it has PPID, per point ID.
Per point ID.
Yeah, it means faster, more reliable cow identification right at the milking point, which is crucial in really large parlors. And then the mobile dashboard is a big plus for managers, remote alerts, real-time milk yield, flow rates. It makes monitoring and maintenance much easier.
Okay, nearly there. Before we wrap up, just a quick but necessary mention of security and transport issues. Rural crime is still a big problem.
It absolutely is. ATV and, side-by-side theft is still rampant. The costs went up, 26% recently?
Yes!
So high-tech security isn't a luxury, it's an operational must-have. Companies like ATV Track are claiming like a 98% recovery rate for stolen tracked vehicles. That's a serious return on investment.
Definitely makes sense. And the transport point.
Yeah. Just a heads up for businesses using double cab pickups. From April 2025, they'll be taxed as cars for benefit-in-kind purposes, not commercial vehicles.
Which means higher tax.
Potentially, yes. So the advice is, if you're planning changes, maybe lock in those lower BIC rates now before the rules change. Just a practical tip.
Okay, great. We have covered a lot of ground. So let's try and synthesize this deep dive. It feels like UK farming is caught in this pull between, on one hand, really high public value and expectation.
That trust factor.
And on the other, these intense economic and policy pressures. And the response we're seeing everywhere is this drive towards, detailed precision, efficiency, technology.
Yeah, whether it's stacking chemicals smartly, investing in better calf housing, using biostimulants, or leveraging AI for feed and disease. It's all about data-driven resilience.
Right. We started off talking about that high public trust in farmers.
We did, and the NFU is, right now, campaigning hard on things like inheritance tax, on overall farm profitability.
Which leaves us with a pretty big question for you, the listener, to think about.
Yeah, it's this. If, as the surveys suggest, 92% of the public genuinely values domestic food production, values the environmental work farmers do, how can that huge amount of public goodwill actually be translated?
Translated into action.
Exactly. How does that social capital become stable long-term government policy? Policy that gives the next generation the confidence to make those big investments needed in better facilities and new technology and the right genetics to actually secure a resilient British food supply for the future. That feels like the crucial challenge that needs solving, perhaps, outside the farm gate itself.